Kremlin chefs were obliged to watch the health of Leonid Brezhnev. One of them was Viktor Belayev. He recalls how chefs had to refuse Brezhnev with his favorite meal, ministry cutlet, to follow his doctor's recommendations.
I remember the way poultry was served in Soviet times. The ornaments now look different in those days. The coat of arms could never be hidden. It serves as the basis of the side dish and the main, because the coat of arms was a sacrosanct symbol. The chefs had to resort to all sorts of tricks to keep alcohol away from Brezhnev. It had a detrimental effect on his health. The bottles that were placed on his table looked like they were filled with cognac, but in fact, they contained a drink made of rosehip. The rosehip water had a different colour to cognac, and it took us some time to come up with a way to resolve the problem. We added lemon juice to it to disguise the difference. Some 10 bottles for each reception were put down on the table. The most important thing was not to get them mixed up. Brezhnev could hardly rule the country during the last year before his death. His health failed completely after a visit to Tashkent. Authorities had herded together a mass of workers at an aircraft factory to welcome him. They looked on from scaffolding, which suddenly collapsed, fracturing his collarbone. After that, doctors kept a watchful eye on his every step. There were special sensors under the mat. When Brezhnev got up during the night, he would step on the sensors, thus alerting the man on duty. The bodyguard took some time to get to his bedroom, because they were in a separate house.
When I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I immediately called the Brezhnev aide. I said, I have a sense there is something wrong with Leonid Brezhnev. Stop talking nonsense, he replied. He's okay, everything's normal. But he called me back 3 hours later to say that Brezhnev had died.
Это была великая Джуна, которая сейчас еще действует в Москве, она активная такая целительница. Она со мной где-то 3 года, даже 5, я думаю, общалась, дружила и взаимодействовала.
He was the head of state from 1917 until 1924. In May 1922, he became seriously ill and was almost completely disabled until his death. According to official accounts, he died from atherosclerosis. The Secret Archive footage depicted Lenin as a cheerful man full of energy, capable of working from this round to talk. According to official Soviet records, Lenin was always his own. Thus, he took an abrupt turn for the worse after the attempt on his life by assassin Fanny Kaplan in 1918. This is how the episode is shown in a Soviet film released in the 1930s. Opinion is still divided of whether or not Fanny Kaplan was the shooter. At the time of the assassination attempt, her eyesight was so poor she could hardly see people's silhouettes. The claim that Lenin's health sharply deteriorated as a result of poisoned bullets is also plausible. Spent decades studying Lenin's medical history. There were plans to fill the bullets with a poison called curare, which is incredibly potent. Later, hospitals used it as an anesthetic. But the fact is that when the bullet leaves the barrel, the poison becomes ineffective. The compound is immediately destroyed by very high temperatures. In 1922, Lenin moved into his residence near Moscow. During the last months of his life, he went almost completely insane. This picture was taken by his sister. It and the official diagnosis of the chronic disease that caused his death were hidden from the public for many years. After foreign doctors came to examine Lenin, they said in letters dated back to 1922 that he had syphilis. The diagnosis was confirmed in 1924 with Lenin's death. Lenin's inner circle was aware of it, but no one else was supposed to know, and the post-mortem report was grossly falsified.
Joseph Stalin, Jugoslavia, Vladimir Lenin's successor, head of state from 1924 till 1953. Before death, he accused his doctors of deliberate malpractice. When he suffered a stroke during the night and did not get up at the usual time, his associates did not have the courage to check on the paralyzed leader for almost a day. Stalin died on March the 5th, 1953, in a coma.
Joseph Stalin, the victorious 20th century dictator, had a reputation for being overly suspicious. Millions of people were subjected to political repression under his rule. He was dominated by his failures. One of his residents was near Lake Ritsa in Abkhazia. Despite the fact it was high in the mountains, it was surrounded by thousands of guards. Even here, Stalin dreaded the prospect of any attempts on his life.
Stalin always sat with his face turned to the window. In this way, he monitored the situation outside because he was afraid of attempts on his life. Lamps on the walls of the room produced a dim glow. Bright lights gave him headaches. Besides, the curtains were trimmed so that he could satisfy himself that nobody outside was going to assassinate him.
A motorboat which shuttled across Lake Ritsa supplied his residents with meals. He abhorred the smell of cooking.
This is one of 3 bedrooms of Joseph Stalin. All 3 look quite alike. This is because during the night, Stalin might go to another room to make sure that nobody knew where he was at any particular moment. He feared for his life.
Towards the end of his life, Stalin suspected his doctors of spying. A few dozen medics were arrested under his personal orders. They were brought to the security ministry, where they were forced to say that they had deliberately listed out incorrect diagnosis to put Soviet leaders to death.
The case against the doctors triggered a vehement propaganda campaign in the press and on the radio and television. Many patients turned down surgery for conditions that required treatment.
Decree of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR. Dr. Lydia Timashuk has been awarded the Order of Lenin for her assistance to the government in unmasking killer doctors.
In 1948, heart specialist Lydia Timashuk sent a letter to the Kremlin, saying she disagreed with the way doctors had treated Zhudanov, a high-ranking Soviet official. But the Kremlin ignored the letter. However, 4 years later, it was found in archives. By that time, Stalin was already obsessed. He thought physicians were trying to harm him. Timashuk's letter now provided the basis of a criminal case. Stalin couldn't see the case through, however, and he died on March the 5th, 1953.
I have no doubt that if Stalin had lived long enough, those doctors would have been executed. In light of reports exposing the group of saboteur doctors, even Stalin's death came off as a bad joke. People would say in whispers, Stalin has been healed to death.
Stalin's close associates agreed to close the doctor's case before the body of what had been hailed as the leader of all nations was even placed in the mausoleum on Red Square. Stalin's personality cult was later denounced by his successor, Nikita Khrushchev.
Я вернулся, ребята,
Later,
вернулся.
Stalin was buried close to the mausoleum.
Но на смерть Сталина мы смотреть не будем.
And the alleged saboteur
Посмотрим дальше на что-нибудь более хорошее. А то, блин, эти смерти, они давят на психику. Кстати, здесь кончается, похоже. Все, ладно, я должен перед вами говорить чуть-чуть. Мои хорошие слушающие, блин, еще посмотрим, сколько еще снимает это дело. А вот он я. Привет. Итак, мы видели там и Сталина, и Ленина, и даже Брежнева. Мы видели знаменитую Джуну, блин, которая общалась со мной по 2-3 часа. Вы не поверите, она общалась со мной по 2-3 часа каждую ночь, где-то с 12 до 2 до 3. Она в это время рисовала и общалась со мной. Но я был там в одной и другой квартире, там в другой части Москвы, но не в этом дело. Оба были в центре где-то. Она на Арбате, а я в регионе проспект Мира, или метро Рижская, или метро Проспект Мира, если кто знает Москву. Они рядом, эти метро. Ну не в этом дело, видели, тут Джуна исцелила Брежнева, значит, да. Кто-то вроде бы исцелил там Сталина и Ленина. Ленин сейчас вообще в мавзолее. Тут много таких моментов. Я честно вам говорю, что там честно, я всегда должен честно говорить. Просто такое выражение. Я плохо знаю английский. Я плохо понимаю, о чем тут речь. Но я раз увидел Джуну, значит дело идет о целительстве. Хилинг это целительство, значит целительство имеет дело. Что я могу сказать? Понимаете, есть карма человека. Карма Сталина, Ленина, Брежнева, Джуны. Видимо, она немножко может исцелять его, но она должна быть вибрационно мощнее, чем он. А он, Сталин, Брежнев, Ленин, они были воплощением надежды всех русских людей. Всего населения бывшего Советского Союза или раньше бывшей Российской империи. Да? Чтобы целитель может исцелять. Но может исцелять только на уровне, значит, каких-то эфирных тел, более близких к реальному физическому телу. На уровне астральном, таком мощном, на уровне высших астральных тел, которые отвечают как бы за надежду. Ну, народ же надеется на Сталина, там, на Ленина, на Брежнева. Они, как правило, вампирят. Целители-то. Они даже не догадываются об этом, но они вампирят. То есть пошла Джуна, допустим, к Брежневу, дала ему здоровье на уровне физического тела, он действительно прожил там, допустим, полгода больше из-за того, что Джуна к нему пришла. Но на уровне астральном Джуна от его отвампирила. То есть, скажем так, по идее, после посещения Джуны этот Брежнев должен быть менее привлекательный для всего населения бывшего Советского Союза, потому что взяла как бы качество Джуны, да, но при этом более здоровый физически. Ну, я так утрирую, но может быть это так. Вот. И такие вот дела. На самом деле эти люди, они же всегда воплощение надежд. Например, я вчера был в деревне, у нас есть один целитель, он не только целитель, он просто очень мощный, продвинутый человек. Я рад, кстати, такие люди есть. И он так и сказал, говорит, Гитлер же создавал Европейский Союз. То есть мне очень приятно эту вещь слышать, потому что я думаю, ну я как бы слегка комплексую, мол, так и так, блин, мол, только я тут утверждаю, что Гитлер создавал Европейский Союз. Может, все думают, что я какой-то не такой, не понимающий эти вещи. А я же подхожу энергетически, да. На самом деле, да, Гитлер создавал Европейский Союз методами ужасными, фашизм, нападение на все вокруг, силой там против евреев, все такое. Но он создавал Европейский Союз. Но реклама кончилась. Тут выступает у нас доктор Чазов по-английски. Ну, ребята, по-английски что делать? Каждый четвертый на земле знает английский. Надо и вам знать. Слушаем. Тут про Андропова уже.
Different from the other members of the Politburo. He was younger, more energetic, and had a higher IQ. His work schedule was filled with meetings. The very closest to him knew that every day doctors used to connect Andropov to a kidney dialysis machine.
It was a cumbersome piece of equipment. Our doctor colleagues were working on a miniature machine the size of a briefcase. They did create something of that kind. But regrettably, it was too late for them to put it to use.
After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the newspaper Pravda blamed Dr. Chazov and other Kremlin doctors for the spate of Soviet leaders' deaths.
When the hour of treason came, it can only be surprising how many fatal contingencies the last Soviet leaders had to collide with. It would be interesting to know from the academician Chazov if the rapid health worsening of the Soviet leaders could be a result of an outrageous incompetence of doctors or a thoroughly planned subversive act, which was accurately calculated, well prepared, and fulfilled by the so-called qualified doctors.
I took the newspaper and came to a meeting of academics. I said, dear colleagues, I have to tell you that 12 of you sitting here
are going to be subject to prosecution. After they heard that, they decided to write an official letter to Pravda newspaper that said, "You're making a second case against doctors." Now, Pravda was so intimidated by that they decided to publish it.
Nikita Khrushchev, head of the USSR from 1953 to 1964. No chronic diseases were detected in him during his stint in office. The only Soviet leader removed from power for what was officially described as health reasons, died at the age of 77, 7 years after his resignation.
According to his contemporaries, Khrushchev was healthier than any other Soviet leader. Unlike Brezhnev, he didn't care much for ready-made scripts of his speeches, and instead often improvised. A doctor did accompany him during his international visits, but only to be on the safe side. The job was to give Khrushchev medical assistance of a special kind. The fact is that he was not the calmest of politicians.
The only other person in the medical profession was a fairly young lady, a throat specialist. But that had nothing to do with the permanent state of his health. It was simply because he talked too much and too loudly. So it affected his vocal cords. So what she had to do was to give him some spray, some stuff inside his throat.
During his last year at the helm of the Soviet Union, 70-year-old Khrushchev spent more than 130 days traveling inside and outside the country. In October 1964, he decided to go on vacation in Abkhazia. Meanwhile, the Kremlin plot was brewing in Moscow. It culminated in Khrushchev being removed from office as soon as he returned.
The official reason being his advanced age, which I fully agreed with because he was then over 70. But the second reason was increasing ill health. Now, I'd seen him shortly before the event in question, and I knew perfectly well that he was in an excellent state of health.
Mikhail Gorbachev, the last General Secretary of the Communist Party, 1985-1991, came to power at the age of 54, the only surviving leader from the Soviet era.
The Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union elects Mikhail Gorbachev as General Secretary.
Mikhail Gorbachev was elected in March 1985. A wind of change was in the air. Perestroika was announced in the country. Like Nikita Khrushchev, Gorbachev mingled with the people. He talked with them in a frank and straightforward manner, but he was far more refined and civilized.
Get closer to the keyhole.
Aren't I close enough? Gorbachev often appeared in public together with his wife, a practice previously unseen among other Soviet leaders. Raisa Gorbacheva was active in the nation's public life. In Soviet times, many people resented the habit. They blamed the country's first lady for swaying Gorbachev's decisions. Raisa Gorbacheva died of leukemia in September 1999. Before passing away, she said that falling victim to the severe illness and dying would be the only way to get people to understand her. This time, the Kremlin medicine was helpless.
I am missing a friend I have lost during this hard struggle, my beloved wife. That's what is lacking in my life. I always remember that.
Boris Yeltsin, President of Russia, 1991-1999, suffered from heart disease. 8 years after his resignation, he died of progressive cardiovascular and multiple organ failure in April 2007.
In the early 1990s, many saw Yeltsin as a hero. In August 1991, he stood at the head of a movement of resistance to plotters who wanted to preserve the Soviet regime. He displayed energy and resolution. Before long, however, rumors creeping around Moscow were claiming that sharing a banquet table with Yeltsin was fraught with unpredictable consequences.
When they began pouring cognac into these glasses, Yeltsin grimaced and turned around. There was a side table filled with tumblers and glass holders. Yeltsin used to drink tea out of a glass like this. Then Boris Yeltsin reached out for 6 tumblers and placed them on the table and ordered the waiter to top them off to the brim. We are going to drink from these, he declared. When Yeltsin was a young man, he was an enthusiastic and skillful sportsman. This helped his career in the Communist Party in the Urals. Here he was reputed to be a no-nonsense, tough administrator. Nobody would ever dare to pull the wool over his eyes. After he moved to Moscow to take the post of president, quite a few people among his associates were noted for weird practices. One of them, Yuri Malin, was a professional psychic. I said it was possible to improve ratings, so much so that they would be beyond the reach of opponents. Give me 45 minutes of any main TV's paid channels, and a certain candidate will be elected. This is called the management of the collective mind, the management of the audience. Of the 1996 elections, President Yeltsin was going out of his way to demonstrate that he was physically fit for another term of office. So he was indeed elected for a second stint, but he paid a price for his exertion. Yeltsin urgently needed heart bypass surgery. It was decided that the complex operation would be performed in Russia. It lasted several hours. Cardiac surgeon Renat Akhturin was in charge of the team of doctors. Everyone thought that Yeltsin would not survive that operation. Because of all the stress, the contraction function of his heart was a ruin. The only person who said there was a chance of success was me. I said that we should prepare him for the surgery. After the operation, Boris Yeltsin stayed at the helm of the nation for nearly 4 more years. He resigned on the last day of the 20th century. I am leaving. I did what I could. I want to ask for your forgiveness. As far as I can remember, this is the one and only case where a head of state who had complete power decided by himself to leave. It was a sign of great courage. The Yeltsin era has already receded into history. Many myths about Kremlin medicine are gradually fading. Sales of the miracle Kremlin pill have almost fizzled out, despite being described as a cure-all. Dmitri, the young man who bought the Soviet device for his mother, only found out a short time ago that it had nothing to do with the Kremlin at all. It was just a bogus promotional campaign launched soon after the fall of the Soviet Union. Of course, I was somewhat surprised because there was a legend attached to the pill. When you first hear about it, what immediately attracts you is its name. You take a pill, and afterwards you live for 200 years? Well, it's just nonsense. Don't believe that rubbish. Stringent selection procedures are still applied to doctors wishing to join the system of medical care provided for the country's topmost officials. It is an established fact that the Kremlin's inhabitants no longer turn to healers or clairvoyants. However, what they do to keep fit and how the Kremlin's doctors protect them from ill health is still a state secret.
Вот и все. Итак, мы видели, что лечились они как могли, даже с целителями, но целителей мало использовали. Например, Раиса Горбачева могла жить. Вообще, вот в этих делах имеет значение все-таки сначала высший уровень, кармический, как уровень причины, а потом уже уровень исцеления, да. Вот, например, не суждено Раисе Горбачевой попасть к филиппинским хилерам, которые могут почти все. Потому что идет смешивание энергетики самой Раисы Горбачевой и этих филиппинских хилеров. Не суждено к ним лечиться и Ельцину, у филиппинских хилеров. Потому что идет каждый человек, который идет к ним, он же автоматически, значит, несет эгрегор, ну, то, что он представляет, как бы, да. В данном случае эгрегор России. 150 миллионов надеялись на него с 91 по 2000, 9 лет. И вот этот Ельцин встречается с каким-то супер тонким филиппинским хилером, да. И вот эти вот 9 лет надежды русских людей идет в какую-то несчастную, ну не несчастную, а маленькую филиппинскую деревушку, где живет этот хилер, да. Пожалуйста, блин. Ну, естественно, тут как бы нестыковка такая. И поэтому или в Ельцин не верят, или ему его, как говорится, вроде бы советники в кавычках нашептали, говорит, не иди туда, это обман. Он не специалист по этим делам. И вот и происходит то, что происходит. Вот. Поэтому вот такие вот дела.
Я находился в поле, погибли 2000 человек.
Вот. Что вам еще хочу сказать? На самом деле не случайно мы попадаем к таким передачам. В таких передачах есть эгрегор России. Я, собственно, я же говорю по-русски, да. И Россия, конечно, сейчас она ослабла. Раньше это же было вообще полмира. Она же там подчиняла там пол Африки, там пол Азии, там Латинская Америка в какой-то степени, пол Европы. И не случайно мы анализируем этих бывших, видите ли, все подряд. Ленин, Сталин, Хрущев, Брежнев, Андропов был здесь, потом того пропустили, там один Черненко, и, значит, уже Горбачев. Горбачев, кстати, еще живой. Вот. Все эти вещи имеют право быть. Мы носители чего-то. Во-первых, есть над нами есть эгрегор христианской религии. Христианской религии это уже очень много. Но на самом деле есть просто эгрегор государства российского, да. Дело в том, что еще в недавнем прошлом на земле побеждало то, что называется национальное государство, то есть нации. Это довольно примитивно, что делать. Вот это было. И вот русский народ как-то очень он поднялся, по крайней мере, завладел ядерным оружием, победил немцев во Второй мировой войне. И все это сказалось на силе России, на вооружении, полмира подчинило. Вот. Но это дало сбой, все-таки социальный строй, который исходил из России, от русского народа, он, конечно, ущербный, ну, не ущербный, срединный такой. Ну, а побеждает передовые социальные строи, да, то есть, допустим, капитализм американский, европейский, там, японский. Есть что есть. Россия сейчас и развалился Советский Союз, и сейчас она берет пример, опять же, с Запада, да. То есть капитализм. Ну, не в этом дело, это социальный строй. На самом деле, есть тут тонкий уровень, есть души. Россия в любом случае в центре мира. Все это имеет право быть, все эти моменты. Вот. Просто я почему все эти вещи обращаю внимание? Дело в том, что я, как бы, если вы заметили, ставлю какие-то передачи из России по-русски, но там уровень-то не мировой, понимаете? Не мировой уровень этих передач. Ну ладно, я как-то комментирую, как могу. Ладно. Вот. Что вам еще говорить про целителей, про целительство? Сейчас, мои хорошие. Целителей много. Целителей, которые исцеляли таких людей, как президент страны, очень мало. Все, что ли? Кончается, кстати, до свидания. Кончается запись. Удачи вам, ребята. Все. Флешка такая маленькая. Нет, еще 40 секунд. На фоне вот всего, что мы увидели, услышали, не надо забывать, что каждый из нас имеет свою религию, маленькую, большую, неважно, свою. И каждый из нас должен быть Богом в каждое мгновение. Тоже своими собственными методами, да. Вот это самое главное. То есть то, что мы сейчас увидели по-английски, я вот объясняю по-русски немножко, это должно быть нам примером, как нам быть богами в каждое мгновение. Это высшая наша цель. Своими методами, своими силами, своими способами. Медитация, отдых, еще что-нибудь. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.